resilient, and more prosperous so that every Marylander can reach their full potential. We are an agency of 1,200 people with team members serving across the state of Maryland. But we need our partners in the community and across government to strengthen the connections we make and expand our reach to the most vulnerable Marylanders. This morning, very excited to have some of those partners here today who you will hear from. Amanda Renteria, the CEO of Code for America, here from California to talk about the incredible work of her organization and our partnership. Robin McKinney from the Cash Campaign of Maryland, and Nancy Carr from AARP. I also want to recognize Jessica Clayton from Senator Chris Van Hollen's office. I'd also like to thank Pablo Blank, who's the Director of Immigrant Integration with CASA. They do a huge number of tax returns working with us at VITA sites. Baltimore City Deputy Comptroller Erica McClammy, here on behalf of Comptroller Bill Henry. And Bridget Roberts, I believe, is coming, who is the director, the direct file lead from the IRS. So I appreciate each of them for their commitment to supporting all Marylanders by helping to navigate our tax system. As you may have heard, the IRS has announced the opening of tax filing season will be January 27th, 2025. I am happy to announce that tax season in Maryland will also begin on January 27th with a controlled rollout. That means that we will progressively ramp up our tax processing, beginning with small batches of returns to test our fraud detection and other systems. This is in line with IRS best practices and helps to ensure a smooth process through the end of tax season. Marylanders can then expect full processing of tax returns beginning on February 3rd. This year, though, what I'm really excited about are the new tools that we have put into place to make filing tax returns easier, less costly, and more efficient for Marylanders. I'm launching those new initiatives that will help Marylanders keep more money in their pockets, which supports our agency priorities of, number one, implementing agency-wide improvements to help state government work better, ensuring that the resources and expertise of the office create opportunities and positively impact Maryland families, communities, and businesses, and ensuring that Maryland is well positioned for long-term economic growth and success. So, what you need to know for tax season 2025. First, you may know that the IRS estimates that the average American spends $270 and 8 hours filing their taxes. That is too much time and too much money spent on filing something that we require you to do. No one should have to spend that time or money. So I'm proud to say that one of the key improvements we're making this tax season is that Maryland is one of 25 states participating in the IRS Direct File program. IRS Direct File is going to allow, we think, almost 1 million Marylanders to file their state and federal taxes online via a secure platform for free. It will be available beginning on January 27th and will save users time by importing a range of information from their IRS account and their W-2s. Direct File is convenient, user-friendly, with availability in English and Spanish, and is optimized for our mobile devices that most of us carry around every day. And when you're finished with the federal filing, Maryland's state portal, which is created and operated by our partners at Code for America, will give the option to transfer your federal information to your state return, saving Marylanders time. This is an important and exciting free alternative to relying on and paying an expensive tax professional or software company to do what many of us should be able to do for free. So I want to thank Maryland's congressional delegation. They were true leaders in making sure that the IRS could create Direct File, and I want to thank the IRS and former Commissioner Werfel for their help in bringing this program to Maryland. We are excited to be launching it for all Marylanders. Second, in addition to the launch of Direct File, Marylanders can also look forward to a new website coming online later this spring and a brand new customer relations management system, MyCom Connect, that will improve our customer service delivery. These improvements that we're making are about making life easier for our fellow Marylanders. The new website and our new customer relation management system, MyCom Connect, will make it easier for Marylanders to find and access the information they need and to hold us accountable for providing them with the service and the results they deserve. You know, life isn't fair, but the government should be. And so we are working each and every day to make sure that we can have the resources that Marylanders need to live their lives to the fullest. So our branch offices are also a great existing resource for Marylanders to receive tax help. We cut the ribbon on this newly renovated modern space just a little less than 1 year ago. And I'm proud that we were the first state agency to begin the move away from our outdated State Center complex to a new home here in the downtown business district, beginning with our taxpayer services division. And by June, we'd relocated all 300 members here to this new space. So last year, the members of our taxpayer services team assisted 11,970 Marylanders in Baltimore, with more than 10,000 people coming to us without an appointment for help with tax preparation and other needs. Our 11 branch offices across the state helped over 105,000 people either in person or with a virtual appointment, and we answered more than 83,000 emails last year. Our taxpayer services team is ready and eager to help Marylanders once again during the 2025 tax filing season. Marylanders can make an appointment with one of our branch offices at marylandtaxes.gov. There's also free assistance through our VITA partners, some of whom you'll hear from today. In addition to making tax help available through our branch offices, we are doing more to get tools and information into the hands of Marylanders by meeting them where they are. Starting tomorrow at noon, our new public engagement team will host several new webinars to share key tax season resources with all Marylanders. To sign up for those, you can go to marylandtaxes.gov/tax toolkit. And then finally, I also want to talk about how the resource and expertise of our office can position Maryland families and the state for long-term economic success. Now, my agency, the Comptroller of Maryland, runs the largest anti-poverty program in state government, the Maryland Earned Income Tax Credit, the EITC. The EITC is a tool that has earned bipartisan support because it has consistently demonstrated the ability to reduce poverty and build economic mobility among Americans actively participating in the workforce. The Center on Budget and Policy Priorities found that the EITC lifted 5.6 million Americans above the poverty line. At a time when the cost of living is rising and more people are finding it harder to move into or stay in the middle class, the EITC is an important and strong investment in a more equitable, more resilient, and more prosperous economy. Unfortunately, people are leaving their money on the table. In 2023, the average earned income tax credit in Maryland was roughly $1,000, and the share of Marylanders who are eligible for the EITC but didn't claim it was around 181,000 people. Counties where at least 35% of eligible residents are missing out on the EITC include Kent, Carroll, Queen Anne's, and Garrett counties. Rural counties in our state where these tax credits can make a sizable and noticeable difference in people's lives. So my agency is leading now a new proactive approach to educating more Marylanders and encouraging them to claim the credits they qualify for. In the coming days, you'll begin to see images like the posters you see up here on social media. We want Marylanders to know that they may be eligible for tax credits that allow them to keep more of the money that they have earned by simply filing their taxes. Some people choose not to file their taxes because they don't make a lot of money and they don't think they should spend enough, they don't make enough to spend the time, money, and effort on filing a tax return. But I'm pleased to announce that the Office of Comptroller is launching this Earned It campaign for the Earned Income and Child Tax Credits to remind those folks and everybody that this is their money, they earned it, and we want them to claim it by filing a tax return. This is a key part of the direct file system as well that will enable people to understand the tax credits that they qualify for. So partnership is a key feature of this state and of our campaign for the EITC. We'll be working with partners across the state government to get this campaign in front of more individuals and parents to spread the word and provide information. And we'll refine it by testing our visuals and messaging to identify what connects best with Marylanders as we work with partners in the foundation space to ensure that we, over the next few years, can bring the strongest and most effective messages to Marylanders. As I close, I just want to stress we cannot create a state that's more equitable, more resilient, and more prosperous if Marylanders do not have the access to the tools, education, and resources that they need to uplift themselves, their families, and their communities. The changes that we're putting into place for this tax filing season will give them just that. One final change I do want to point out that you may have noticed is that we have a new logo that you will see on correspondence from the agency in the coming year. The change will be gradual, but if you see, as you see the logo on this podium, know that we are really trying to modernize in all ways. The Office of the Comptroller of Maryland is excited to serve the state's more than 3 million personal income tax filers when we begin tax season on January 27th. Now, I'm so excited to turn it over to our very special guest, Code for America CEO Amanda Renteria. And after her, we will hear from Robin McKinney and Nancy Carr before questions. Thank you so much, and turn it over to you, Amanda. Come on up. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Thank you.
It's cold, people. Listen, first I just want to say hello. Thank you for inviting me here. Bienvenidos a todos que hablan español también. I want to welcome you as well to the audience. Listen, it is good to be in the room with people who have been making tax filing easy, simple, and free. Code for America has been at this for a long time. For those who don't know us, we are a nonprofit. We partner with governments on trying to make technology help governments, help people access benefits easier, or just interact with government systems in an easier way through modernized technology. And so it's no surprise to me that Maryland jumped in immediately when we had direct file expand. The reason is because we work with the state of Maryland on all kinds of different modernized systems like the safety net, and it's no surprise that tax systems is now just the next thing we're going to modernize together. And the reason is, and I hear this all the time, that of course we're going to try it out because if we can make people's lives easier and better, that's what we should be doing. And really that is what direct file is all about. So our role in this, and we've worked now with 12 states and now we'll be working with 24 in partnership with the IRS. What we do is we make sure that when you file your federal taxes, it's super easy to then file your state taxes right alongside. And so the back end of that work is really what we do to help bridge those worlds. You know, it's interesting. I'll close with just quick 3 different points, because when I left the house, my kids sort of asked, like, Mom, you're going to go talk about taxes? Like, come on. And my answer was this, which is, you know, it's a really important thing when you think about it, because what you just heard about what we've seen in our research is there are millions of dollars left on the table for tax credits in low-income communities all across this country. It is the biggest anti-poverty program that we have that a lot of folks have fought for, the EITC as well as the child tax credit. And what we know in our work is that if it is easier, if it is in their language, if it is more empathetic, more people will get through. And so the idea of actually taking that barrier away for millions of people out there is why Code for America does this work and why I'm so proud to be talking about it today. But I'll also say that in our first 12 states, when we got the surveys back and people said, God, I hate doing taxes, and this was kind of normal, not like. And then we got another one that said, you know, it was even kind of enjoyable to do taxes this year. And so in this world right now where it's a little uncertain, a little bit tough, it's kind of nice to spread some joy around a bit. So that was the second reason. But the third reason I told my kids, and this sort of gets to a little bit of the time and place that we are in, 24 hours into a new presidency, Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday was yesterday, and we celebrated that. And when you think about our tax system, you know, it really is the collective action of all of us coming together to say, it takes all of us to build roads and bridges. It takes all of us to make sure we have an education system that works for everyone. It takes all of us to contribute to the idea that people should have home ownership. And so the way I look at it is this is our way, or the tax system is really a representation of the collective effort of all of us that we agree that we should contribute to the greater good while also ensuring people have essential services they need. And so in this small way, we are super proud to be partnering with states across the country, including Maryland, to do our part in that greater good by making people's lives a little bit easier, making sure folks who have never applied for taxes are able to get their benefits and access to a little bit more resources. And hopefully, as we think about where we're going as a country and as a nation, that we're able to do our part with all of you. So I am super grateful to be with all of you. And in fact, when I think of a partner who has been in it with us, Robin's next.
Thanks, Amanda. Good morning. I am Robin McKinney. I'm the co-founder and CEO of the Cash Campaign of Maryland, and we are the people you avoid at a dinner party. We are the ones who get hype, who get excited about tax time, even though, just like the Comptroller's office, we are 365, 24/7 worrying about taxes. And now this year, we don't have to worry as much because we have this incredible tool in Direct File. So the Cash Campaign of Maryland has been doing taxes in this city since the year 2000. I started as a free tax preparation volunteer, hands frozen, terrified at the screen, a couple hours of training. Can I do this? I'm a social worker. And what I found is that it's a conversation. The person across from you has been just as terrified to file their taxes. Am I going to owe? What am I going to get back? And now to be able to have tools, we will always have this one-on-one interaction that we have through the volunteer income tax assistance. Always important for that hand-holding population that really needs it, that has complexity, that has back taxes, that's worried about, you know, losing their occupational license because of taxes. But having something like Direct File at the federal level and the leadership that we have in Maryland to have it here is going to empower people to finally do their own taxes. It's not as hard as as you think it is. And to be able to do it on your phone, to be able to do it quickly. At the Cash Campaign, for a long time, we say earn it, keep it, save it. You've earned that earned income tax credit. You've earned your withholdings that you had back that you might be getting. Your child tax credit, you've earned it. Now we want you to keep it. Why pay hundreds of dollars? We routinely see people pay, here in the state of Maryland, average of $378 for a tax return, for a very simple tax return. There is always going to be a need for those professionals, again, for those more complex returns, but keep that money in your pocket. And of course, at Cash, we always say save it. Creating assets, savings, and hope is in our name. So at Cash, we help more than 20,000 people a year get their taxes done, bring back more than $30 million of the earned income tax credit. Now is the time. I understand for a lot of the communities we work with, they can feel nervous. I'm putting information into my phone. What is this going to look like? We have the most trusted partners here in Code for America, in the Comptroller of Maryland. They have the highest standard, the highest bar to make sure that your information is secure, that it's easy, and your money is going to get back in your pocket. So thank you, Brooke, for your leadership. Thank you for the partners here, and happy filing, everybody.
Good morning. I'm going to have to adjust this a little bit. Okay, good. I'm Nancy Carr. I'm the Communications Director for AARP Maryland. And on behalf of our 850,000 members and their families in Maryland, I want to thank Comptroller Lierman for inviting us to talk about the benefits of the IRS Direct File program, particularly for AARP and the individuals that we serve during tax season. To begin with, AARP is a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization. We are dedicated to helping individuals achieve their goals and dreams, strengthening communities, and advocating for issues that matter most to our members and their families. These include health care, employment, income security, retirement planning, affordable utilities, and protection from financial abuse. and as well as helping our members and their families keep more of their hard-earned money. The IRS Direct File program offers eligible taxpayers a simple, straightforward, and cost-free way to file their taxes electronically. This service simplifies the tax process through a step-by-step checklist that guides taxpayers through every step of the process. I'd like to provide some context on why AARP supports the Direct File initiative. Beginning February 1st and continuing through April 15th, the AARP Foundation offers free in-person tax assistance and preparation through our nationwide tax aid program. Since 1968, this program has provided free tax help to more than 78 million taxpayers, focusing on older adults with low to moderate income. These are led by our volunteers who are trained and IRS certified annually to ensure that they remain well-versed and well-trained in the latest tax code updates. In 2022, 774 AARP Foundation tax aid volunteers in Maryland assisted more than 40,000 Maryland residents, helping them secure more than $27.5 million in federal refunds and nearly $2.8 million in state refunds. These services were offered at 127 accessible sites across Maryland, including senior centers, libraries, and community locations, as well as virtually. Taxpayers using AARP Foundation tax aid avoided tax preparation fees and high-interest tax credit or refund loans. Our program is open to all Marylanders age 50 and older, regardless of AARP membership. We strongly believe the IRS Direct File program will further streamline tax filing, reduce associated costs, and benefit both our members and the broader community. We fully support Comptroller Lierman's efforts to modernize tax and fee collection, and at the same time, we do recognize that some older taxpayers are still going to prefer in-person assistance when filing their taxes, and tax aid and cash campaign are here for that purpose, to help. So thank you very much, to, Comptroller, and to all the partners here today, and look forward to everybody keeping more of their money this year. Thank you.
So thanks everybody so much for coming. I just wanted to invite our partners up here with me. Any questions about tax season this year that we can answer for you, or Direct File, or the EITC? Yep.
Can you sort of go over for the child tax credit and the earned income tax credit what the criteria are that need to be met for people who can get that money back?
Sure. These individual tax credits are based on very specific income amounts, and you can find those income amounts on our website, in our toolkit, in the handouts that we have. It depends on how many children you have, if you have children, and how much you're making. So probably not the best soundbite, but there's a nice graphic with the chart for it, and that we can give you. Yep. Thanks, Adam. There we go. Yep. Any other questions? Well, great. We're really excited about the teamwork this year. We have amazing partners to make sure that all Marylanders have access to the benefits that they've earned and can file their tax returns seamlessly, easily, securely, and for free. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming, and on to tax season. Thanks.